Hi, I'm Sonia, and welcome back to my channel, Sonia on Being 60. This is week 3 of my road to getting stronger, to dropping a few pounds, to just feeling better. Last week, I continued to prioritize protein. I hit my macros on protein, I think, pretty much every day. I think I did a good job in hitting macros last week. I drank my water, my jug of water every single day. What I do is I fill up a jug that holds about 7 to 8 cups of water, put in some frozen fruit or some cucumber, and put it on the counter. And every time I come into the kitchen, I have a glass of water. And that's been going really well. So I'm very, very pleased about that. I've been managing to get my workouts in. This past week, I got to the gym 4 times, which was terrific. I'm still working on those pull-ups along with every other, muscle group, but I'm really trying to still emphasize getting better at pull-ups. I still have to use a band, and it's a heavy one, but I can now kind of lift myself up higher. I can get closer to that bar, and I'll put a little video that I took at the gym this morning, so we can see that there's a little bit of progress. This is not something that is easy to do, at least not for me, and I find even just that little bit of progress is encouraging, and that's why it's nice to see it in the video. And I feel stronger as well. Probably within the next week or two, I think I can move to a lighter band and then, take it from there. So it's just continuous progress and continually feeling that I'm getting stronger and that I'm getting closer to being able to do that pull-up. So things have gone well. There were a couple of workouts that I missed last week. I missed a bike ride and I missed a run, but sometimes that's life. Life just gets in the way sometimes. Sometimes work starts early, doesn't finish till late. And then I just, am tired and I just want to go downstairs, have a glass of water, and then have a glass of wine. And that is the other thing. This past week, I didn't lose any weight. And I think probably part of it is because I still have my glass or 2 of wine every day. But one thing I do now with the wine is I really track it better and I put it in my macros. I read this article that kind of gave some hints on how you should track alcohol, whether it's wine or, hard liquor or beer. Because if you just put the calories for a glass of wine, let's say a glass of wine, 5-6 ounces, let's say it's 150 calories. Alcohol per se doesn't have really carbs or fat. I mean, the wine will have some carbs, but a glass of wine, it might say it's got 5 grams of carbs. Well, there's 4 calories per gram of carbs, so that would give you 20 calories, when really the wine is 150 calories. So what I do is I take, I look at kind of what's left in my day, if it's carbs or fat, and I work out. If I have lots of carbs left, well, maybe it's going to be 30 grams of carbs that I put in my FitnessPal. Or maybe I have a lot of fat, so maybe it's going to be about, 15, 16 grams of fat, or a combination of the two. But this way, it gets counted in the macros. So if I'm eating, let's say, 13 to 1,500 calories a day, and if I didn't include that, well, I would be way over on all of my macros. So this way, I figure I can have my wine, and not feel guilty about it. And yes, ideally, one shouldn't drink calories, especially alcohol, but I enjoy my glass or 2 of wine. And maybe some days I could, bring it down and not have any or reduce it. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. And for now, I'm going to have my glass of wine or 2 during, kind of once the workday is done. So overall, things have been going well. Like I say, I've been getting most of my workouts in, and I'm not striving for perfection. I'm striving for doing something. I'm striving to meet my goals. And I continually work at it, but I'm not going to beat myself up if I miss a workout, for example, or if one day I overeat on my calories. This is because this is real life too. And you just have to deal with the things that come up in the day that, might take you a bit off track. And maybe if I was a little, I don't know, wanting to be a perfectionist, well, then I wouldn't let these things get in the way. But for me, that's not real life. That's just not going to work for me. I will always just continue to get stronger, be healthier, and make those changes day after day, week after week. And this week, the scale didn't go down. Okay, well, I still worked out, I still ate well. Sometimes the scale isn't going to move. Sometimes you feel it more in your clothes that, things get looser so that you're losing inches, and maybe that's just hasn't showed up on the scale yet. So I'm not going to let that bother me, and I'm not going to let it set me back. Too often you hear people who say, oh, well, I messed up. I went out and I pigged out on this, or I overate on that, or I didn't do this, or I didn't do that. Well, then may as well just blow the whole thing. And, I think I've been guilty of that too, where I've said, oh, I've overeaten. Well, forget it. Forget the whole diet. Well, no, we're human. I'm human. We all, make mistakes, if you will. We can't be perfect every single day of our lives. And I don't ever want to be perfect. I'm going to make mistakes. I'm going to slip up on my diet. But if I can stick to things like 80, 90% of the time, hey, I think that's success. I think getting to the gym, even if it's once a week, if I go for a run, even again, if that's once a week, it's still success. It's still doing something. It's still moving yourself closer to the goals that you've set out for yourself. And, at the end of the day, I think that's what it's all about. It's about doing what you can to keep hitting those goals. Some days are going to be easier than others. Absolutely. But at the end of the day, it's that forward progression, if you will. It's continually moving forward. And that's what's going to get you to your goal. Goals take time to achieve. Losing 10 pounds doesn't happen overnight, especially I find being older. And I know myself, and I'm not going to use my hypothyroidism as an excuse, but I think it does have a bit of an impact. But like I say, I don't use that as an excuse as to why I'm not losing weight. Because I really do know why I'm not losing weight. Because sometimes I'm going to have that extra glass of wine, or maybe I'm really hungry one day and I'm just going to, go and eat more than what I'm normally used to. But I think over time, the body adjusts, and watching what you do and paying attention, over time, there is progression, but it's sticking with it. It's not giving up. And if you fall off the horse or the wagon, you hop right back on and continue and put the past in the past and just pay attention to the future. So that's it for today. Wish you all a wonderful week, and I'll see you all next week.